Megaman X. Love this game. I remember playing it for the first time when I was a kid. It was like playing Super Mario World for the first time or Super Metroid. The Super Nintendo felt like such a big upgrade from the regular Nintendo. These weren't just sequels, they were an upgrade. You knew you were getting something special when playing these games for the first time.
You definitely love these old games. You seem to cycle through them every now and then.
I know this game so well now, it's hard to recapture that sense of awe, discovery, and challenge from the first time I played it.
Well, why don't you just reinvent the game?
Oh, Negativio, don't talk nonsense. Reinvent the game. Hello everybody, and welcome to Creative Gaming. This is a show where I inject a bit of RNG into my playthroughs, either for challenge purposes or just a new way to play the game. Well, it's already been a year since I released my first episode in Negativio. Time really flies. I started this show with the Megaman X dice challenge.
Your first game challenge and you failed it.
You gotta keep rubbing salt into that wound, do you? But I do think it's time I try that challenge with its sequel, Megaman X2. I vaguely remember when this game came out. I was a teenager. We all thought Megaman X meant Megaman 10, so we thought the sequel would be called Megaman 11, but nope. Megaman X2 is what we got. X was the name of the character, not the Roman numeral for the title. So here are the rules for this playthrough, and you're welcome to try this challenge yourself if you dare. Once I get past the intro level, I will roll an 8-sided die which will decide level by level my progression throughout the game. So I can never pick my own levels, whether they're beaten or not. It's always decided by the die. So 1 will be Wire Sponge this stage, 2 will be Morph Moth, and so on and so forth, in the order that you see here. If I roll to a level I've already completed, then I do have the choice to return to that level to possibly acquire items or upgrades I couldn't before. If I don't want to go back, I can just roll again. A game over does not allow me to pick another level. When I roll, I do have to beat the level in question and beat its maverick to move on. However, I will allow myself one cheat or reroll. If I'm having too much trouble, I can use this cheat just once to roll to an alternate level. Finally, once there is only one maverick left, I don't roll to get to that last level. However, once all of the mavericks are beaten, I am allowed one final roll of the die for a stage revisit, and that's it, then it's on to the final stages. Given the nature of this challenge run, I could most likely get to the end of the game without all of the special items or upgrades. It all depends on how lucky I get with the die. So hopefully that all makes sense, so here we go. I am playing the Legacy Collection on Switch, and no, I do not have Hunter's mode on. I am playing the game's original difficulty. So the presentation for Megaman X2 is every bit as good as its predecessor. The Mega Man franchise was treading new ground. This wasn't the Dr. Wily era anymore. This was 100 years into the future in a new world. This first level is pretty easy, but its purpose is really to get you used to the controls again. You get the dash right off the bat, which you had to acquire in the first game, but now Mega Man X automatically has it. It's the only upgrade that carried over from the first game. Now I arrive at the boss. They always try to have an impressively big boss to start the game off. Looks impressive, but is usually easy since they take more damage than the other bosses in the game. Here we have a cutscene with 3 mysterious figures. They factor in the game in an interesting way that I'll explain a bit later. Now we get to the stage select screen. It's now time to roll for our first level. Are you ready for the first roll of the season, Negativio?
Let's do it.
Here we go. A 4. So the stage I'm gonna start with is Magna Centipede's level. Yuck. Probably not the first stage I would pick in an ordinary playthrough, but here we go. So Magna Centipede's level is a pretty key level in this game. It's a computer technology type stage that seems to be the rendezvous point for the 3X hunters, villains working on some secret project, and assassins for Mega Man X. If you can avoid these spotlights, it actually prevents some craziness in the level to happen, and it's important so you can pick up special items in the stage. Like here, for example, this block falls if you activate the security system, but you can climb it if you don't. Alright, we already get a health upgrade. Watch out for these blocks here. Nothing too difficult, but you don't want to be in a position where they crush you. One thing that's different from the first game is that these stages don't change. Remember in Mega Man X how certain stages would change if you beat other stages? Like Flame Mammoth stage being frozen if you beat Chill Penguin first. Well, this game doesn't have that. These stages don't change at all. But there is another gimmick that is introduced, which I'll get to later. This game also uses a special chip called a CX4 chip. It allows for a kind of 3D visual effect with some lines, like this sword here. There are other visual effects in this game that this chip enhances. Whoops, I forgot about these spotlights. Oh damn, I've activated a bunch of them in a row. That can't be good. And now I'm being scanned, which isn't good because it enhances the abilities of a robot I have to face in this level. Ooh, I'm getting pummeled here. Alright, if you get scanned, this robot gains new abilities, which obviously isn't good for us. Ah shit, I was close to getting him too. I've also added a death counter. Not that it matters for this game, but in the future I might put a maximum death counter in certain game challenges. Alright, being more careful with these spotlights now. Whoops, I still got caught by one. It's probably been 3 or 4 years since I last played this game, so there are probably little things I forget here and there. That door there leads to the special boss when he is present in this level. The 3X hunters I previously mentioned eventually come after you. Alright, so now we try this robot again. He doesn't have any upgrades. Alright, there we go. This level is pretty unique, with a security system that I don't think we had really seen in a Mega Man game before this. Now I get to Magna Centipede. He's a bit of an annoyance, not too difficult at first, but he eventually drags you towards him and removes some of your abilities, like charging the X-Buster, dashing, and even your jump gets limited. Ah damn, he caught me. I forgot how to avoid his grabs. Shit, he got me again. And a third time. Damn, my abilities are pretty limited now. And I'm friggin' dead. Hopefully I can beat him, otherwise I'll have to use my cheat very early. Okay, if you dash or walk in the other direction, it usually gives you some hang time to avoid getting grabbed. Okay, I got him. There are harder bosses, but he is pretty annoying. So I get my first weapon, the Magnet Mine. It's a weapon that you can control remotely a bit. It's time for us to roll to another level. A 7. That takes us to Wheel Gator. Okay, so this isn't a bad early level. You seem to be in a giant Godzilla-type robot trampling over the city. Challenge-wise, this level is pretty ordinary. Up there is a pretty significant secret. I believe you get the X-Buster upgrade, which enhances it and allows you to charge your special weapons. Damn, that's a crazy jump. Normally you need the special boots upgrade that allows you to dash while in the air, or if you have Wire Sponge's hook weapon, you can pull yourself to that wall. I don't know if it's possible without either of these items. I'll give it my best shot. Damn, how close was that? Damn. 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 I don't think I'm gonna make it. It's a shame because I don't know if I'll ever roll to this level again. Alright, screw it, I have no choice. Alright, armor. They return in this game and all of the sequels. There's a dangerously placed heart up there. Again, you need special means to reach it, like charging up the flame weapon that allows you to do a super dash. But damn, I want this heart right now. Let's see if I can get it. If I can get hit by this enemy's shots, I might be able to take advantage of the invincibility frames long enough to scale that spiked wall. Shit, I wasn't fast enough. Oh, that was close. Alright, there we go. Again, I don't know if I'll ever roll the die to this level again, so I want to get as many items as possible. Continuing up this elevator takes you to the special boss room, when one is stationed there. There are a few hidden health capsules here, but I don't have any energy tanks yet. Alright, now I get to Wheel Gator. This is another boss that I put in the more annoying than difficult category. He spends a lot of time hiding in that mud or whatever it is, and you waste a lot of time just avoiding its spinning wheels. Thank God this challenge isn't a time attack because you can't beat this boss very quickly. Normally if you die, it's not because you find him too difficult, but it's because you're running out of patience. He's even worse if you use his weakness weapon, the strike chain. If you hit him with that, he pretty much goes back into the mud every time, but otherwise he's not that difficult. I get his weapon, the spin wheel, which is actually a great weapon to have early on. This weapon can destroy certain walls or blocks, allowing you to access special items or new locations in certain levels. Here is a new gimmick introduced into this game. After you beat 2 of the Mavericks, these 3 X-Hunters decide to come after you. They hold pieces of Zero, your friend from the first game who had to sacrifice himself. If you can track down and beat all 3 of the X-Hunters, you can get Zero's parts back and avoid a boss fight towards the end of this game. These 3 X-Hunters appear on the map at random levels that you haven't completed yet, and you have to find a special door hidden in each level to find them. So it's a pretty interesting gimmick that gives a unique spin to this game. You can ignore them if you prefer, but I'll try to beat them if I can. It's time to roll for my next level. I roll a 7 again, so I have the choice to return to Wheel Gator's level or roll again. And at this point, I can't get any new items in the level, so I'm just going to roll again. Okay, an 8. So that takes us to Crystal Snail. None of the X-Hunters are in this level right now. We're in the Crystal Cave area with catchy, more relaxing music. There's a secret down here, but probably nothing I can get yet. Whoops, I guess I tried to jump too late. Ooh, yeah, that's too wide of a jump. I can't make it. I would need the strike chain. Okay, I'm on my last life. I think I'll just fall into the pit and get a game over and have my 3 lives again. As I said, a game over doesn't allow me to change levels. Oh wow, now we have one of the X-Hunters come to the level, so I might have 2 bosses to deal with. The X-Hunter door is up this way, need the right armor to get there. Some of the crystal walls in this stage you can't climb. Here we face Surges, or Surges? By the way, don't touch that cape, it actually damages you. Surges probably has the most bizarre strategy out of the 3 X-Hunters. There's a little force field on his platform, so your weapon doesn't always hit him. It seems to work better if you dash shoot, or shoot slightly elevated, but there are times that you might get frustrated because you can't get your shots to connect. Okay, I got him. I got one of Zero's parts. Oh, okay. Thanks for putting spikes there, jerks. So I'm way back at the beginning of the level, but the X-Hunter is still beaten and I still have Zero's part. So now I can just do the level normally. This mini-boss isn't too difficult, it's best to keep moving. Now I find my first Dr. Light capsule. This special helmet allows X to spot nearby secrets. It's pretty useless to me since I know all the secrets in this game, but Mega Man still looks cool in it. Now I get the Crystal Snail. I do have his weakness weapon, the Magnet Mine. If you time it right, you can kind of play soccer with a shell while he keeps chasing it. Okay, I'm not quite pulling it off here. Whoops, I guess I wasn't paying attention to my health there.
I'm sure you weren't.
Alright, let's try this again. Ah, now I got you. I get his weapon, the Crystal Hunter. Not the best weapon for attack, but it can turn certain enemies into blocks of crystal, which is pretty useful in a few spots. Time for our next roll. 6. 6 takes us to Bubble Crab. Another stage with catchy calm music. Here's an example of the use of the spin wheel. This stage isn't very difficult, the only real challenge is this submarine enemy. You have to blast its different parts before it goes down. I believe there is a secret item towards this way, although this is a pretty wide jump. But I made it. If you have the arms part upgrade and the bubble weapon that you obtained from this stage, you can actually supercharge that bubble weapon to get a type of force field, and it makes you jump higher in water. It is necessary to obtain another item in this level. Up this way is the secret area for the X-Hunter. I didn't notice if an X-Hunter is waiting for me in this level. Yes, there is. Here I face Agile, probably the easiest of the X-Hunters, even though he has incredible speed. I also have his weakness weapon, the Magnet Mine. You want to avoid being on the ground for too long. And now I obtained the second piece of Zero. And now on to Bubble Crab. Not too difficult if you have his weakness weapon, which I do have, the spin wheel. He's more difficult with your X-Buster. Any bosses that can put up some type of shield is either more difficult for it, or more time consuming to fight. Luckily, the spin wheel weapon rips through that shit. It's a bit tricky to use since it goes in one direction, and Bubble Crab often heads in your direction. So you want to lure him towards the spin wheel for him to take extra damage. And he's toasted lobster. So we get the intimidating weapon, the Bubble Splash. It's an okay weapon, not great but not terrible. Alright, I think I'll stop it here for today, but join me in the next episode as I continue this challenge. Will I be able to beat this game, possibly without all of the special items? Keep gaming, everyone.